What's going on, guys? This is Clark Knives here, back with another video. And today, well, I guess tonight, I was sharpening up one of my knives and I was thinking, you know what? Well, I was watching a Richter Knives YouTube video and I was like, well, that kind of makes me want to do a knife video. So I was sitting here sharpening my knife while watching Richter Knives sharpen his knife, and then I got a little bit of motivation worked up to make a knife video. And I might have another one coming out here soon as well, because me and Richter also did some trading. So should have a knife in tomorrow, but this video is gonna be on this knife right here. This is a Great Eastern Cutlery number 44 Buffalo Jack, and this is gonna be a long-term review, I guess. I've been kind of waiting to do this video, which I've had this knife for about a year and I don't know, 5-6 months or so. So depending on how you look at it, I've almost had this thing close to 2 years now. And I really like this knife. I've been offered a ton of stuff for this knife. I've been offered a ton of money for this knife, and I just can't seem to let it go. There's a lot of sentimental value with this knife, and I've used this knife a lot. Most of y'all will probably think this is kind of dumb, but I kind of got this knife whenever I was in a little bit of a tough place, and it kind of always gave me something to look forward to. I pull it out of my pocket, look at it, flip it open a couple times and all that. That's besides the point. Sorry for the little sappiness there. But then, I met a really nice woman, and liked her quite a bit, and then I proposed to her, and this knife was right there in my pocket, and then this knife was right there in my pocket when me and her got married, and we're still going strong. So anyways, but I was going to show off this knife and tell y'all a couple things I really like about it, and a couple things that really made this knife special to me. So I'm going to go ahead and get into it. As you can see, this is a gun stock pattern knife. It's got your brass bolsters, brass shield, which is like a spin on a Remington knife, and brass pins and liners. This thing is all kinds of brass, I'm telling you. This is a working knife, tough knife. And of course you got the carbon steel back springs, which this thing is just caked up in patina, as you can see there. And you've got a pin. I wouldn't call this a primary. It is in the main spot, I guess, depending on how you look at it and what you think the main spot is. But this is a pin secondary, and it's got a pretty crazy patina, and trust me, the lighting in this room does not do any justice. If we were outside in some natural lighting, you would definitely see some crazy patina going on. But anyways, one thing about this knife is the pin blade. As you can see, it's quite large. I don't really have a size comparison laying around, but usually your index finger right here is about 1 inch, and so you can see it's let's see here, 1, 2, and about a half, so 2.5 inches long. On some knives, this is the main blade size. I'm telling you. And if you have been watching my YouTube channel for quite some time, you would know that I absolutely despised pin blades. I didn't like them. I preferred a knife without them. I don't know. There was something about them that I didn't like. And I didn't like them for the longest time. It was a make or break on some knives. And I really almost didn't end up getting this knife because of the pin blade. But a lot of fellers that I know talked me into it, because they said, dude, it's a big pin blade. You give it a chance, you'll love it. I think you will. It might change your mind. And I was really hesitant because I had a really killer knife that I was going to offer up for trade for this one. So whenever I offered it up for trade, I really didn't think I was making a good choice, but I really did like the bone and the shield. So this knife really did turn me around on pin blades. I got it, I opened that thing up, and a lot of the times, actually, this will be the first knife that I pull out on this thing. I really like the pin blade. Like I said, it is larger than your average pin blade, and it's almost like a small spear blade. It's really good for getting in there, pointy for whenever you need to really poke something and cut it, or just anything, you know, everyday task. This blade is most of the time my go-to on this knife. But as you can see, 44 1218. The 44 is the model number. The 1 is the main blade style, and then the 2 is how many blades there are, and then 18. This knife was made in 2018. But that's enough of the pin blade. And then here is the clip point blade, which I love the clip point blade. I just got done sharpening it. It's pretty sharp. It's nothing crazy, really. It will whittle the hair off of you, that's for sure. But here's a little bit of a look at the patina. This thing I have used and kind of, not necessarily abused, but I've used the literal crap out of this knife. And I've kind of reset the patina a couple times. And not started over with a fresh start, but just wiped some of it off with some Never Dull or Mothers. And I even hit the blade with some 1,000 and then like 3,000 grit sandpaper, because I ended up getting some pretty rough rust on it. I put it up for about a month or two one time, I think, because I got a new knife and I really enjoyed it. And I put this thing up for about a month or two, and it got some pretty rough rust. You can kind of see down here where some of it used to be, but that's all cleaned off now. And then a couple spots just here and there. So I hit it with some pretty fine sandpaper, and I had to do the whole blade, and it kind of took a lot of the patina off, but then it just kind of come all back, really. And I mean, most of the time you see knives like this, the blades are getting real thin because people sharpen the literal crap out of them. I usually don't do that. I did use a freehand stone on this knife for the longest time, but when Mr. Richter gifted me a Work Sharp Adjust, I've started using it on it. I like that thing a lot. It makes sharpening knives really a lot easier, and easier on the blades too, because it doesn't take much with them diamond stones. Only bad part about it is, though, is the small blades like this pin blade I can't get to sharpen on there. But we're not going on that right now. This is about the knife. I did have this knife bare bones in the pocket. You can kind of see the bone's a little wore down. It's getting a little bit of a pocket wear look to it, and you can definitely see where the knife rides the most. So I would drop shield in and blades facing out, and this side was rubbing up against my leg all day, every day. Change, you know, whatever. And this one was kind of protected because it's on the outside there. But I don't know if I can get a good focus on the bolsters here. The bolsters, come on now. Bolsters are kind of dinged up, as you can see there, just from dropping it in the pocket. And one thing I really want to show y'all, which I'm glad you probably be able to see this, is right here. As you can see, the jigging goes into the bone there, and I usually carry coins in my pocket, so it's facing down. And I dropped my pants. I took my pants off after work one day, and I just kind of dropped them on the floor. Well, a couple days later, I noticed that one of those little pieces of the jigging, which is either right here or right here, had chipped the bone. And as you can kind of tell, I just squirted some super glue in there to kind of stabilize it the best I could. That way it doesn't continue onto the pin or anything like that. So, like I said, this knife has been pretty used, not abused, but it's been worked. It's been worked good and hard. I haven't really made a YouTube video on this, or even a YouTube video on like a long-term type deal, But I know, being a knife guy, I really enjoyed Richter's, and I know he's pretty much the main character of this video. I'm sorry. But Richter made a long-term review of one of his Great Eastern Cutlery 71s, and I really enjoyed seeing that, seeing all the use and the patina and everything like that on a knife. So I just figured I'd share mine with you and see what y'all think about it. I do apologize for the lighting. I know it's really not the greatest, but you might be able to get to see some focused patina. Well, you really can't see it, but there's quite a bit of dings and dangs in the back, not the back springs, but the liners and everything. I don't know, it just looks really cool how different this knife is from whenever you first get it. But I'm gonna call that it for now. If y'all enjoyed this video, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what y'all think. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.